start with a few comments? Or listen, I thought opportunity to play a lot of guys was good for us, and they exposed us in a lot of ways. I thought they were quicker to loose balls to us than we were early, and we're no question we've got a long way to go, and we are very much a work in progress. But there were some good things that I think we can build off of. But we're going to need to be, a lot better moving forward, particularly with this upcoming stretch here this weekend. So, we're looking forward to getting back to work and evaluating the film and some areas that we did well and some things we need to improve on.
Chris, when you say they exposed you a little bit, can you elaborate a little bit more on where you felt you really need to try to shore up some areas? I
thought we just were, I thought at times they kind of knocked us around and got to loose balls a little bit quicker than we did. We beat them certainly to our share, but I thought they did a good job. I didn't think we played through contact very well today in terms of whether it's getting a loose ball or finishing a defensive rebound. I just didn't think we played through contact quite as well as we needed to. So that was good for us to see. And, they tried to spread us out. And I didn't think we had great awareness on their shooter 14. And we knew about him. We did a limiting scouting, but we certainly knew he was capable of making threes.
You had said the other day that you looked at this as a practice. Did you get out of this what you would want to get out of a practice at this point of the preseason?
I think so. I think the opportunity, the opportunity for our guys to play in front of fans, and they brought a large contingent too. And the reality is, I told them in there is, hey, listen, teams are going to make runs on us, and we got to respond the right way. And I think we were a little bit slow to respond the right way in some situations. But yeah, I thought it was good for us. As much as anything, you get a chance for some of your young guys to play. And I'm still figuring out the combinations that fit us best. I guarantee you we'll have a fluid starting lineup throughout the year. I think our guys understand that, and they need to accept the fact that that's what's going to happen. We're going to have multiple guys in and out of the starting lineup throughout the year.
Coach, we just talked, we obviously talked to the three freshmen. Wesson had 16 and 7. All three had double-digit minutes. What do you think about their performances, and then just maybe things they'd have to improve on just going forward after the first and only tune-up?
I would say playing through contact, both guys, both he and Kyle and Musa at times. And then I think just them getting a feel for what what we're trying to do offensively and defensively. And then they have to play through, their own kind of ups and downs. As they're freshmen, they're all three going to play significant roles by freshman standards for us. All three of them I expect to play in really important roles. And all three did good things. And I thought Musa played better as the game went on. Caleb gave us a nice lift with his size and ability to finish. And I thought Kyle came in with good energy, particularly in the second half, and did some good things. But all three, right, we've got a lot of work with those guys. The best thing about those guys was the fact that they were able to play extended minutes in front of other people.
Chris, when you took CJ out in the second half and sat him for a while, you were crouched over there in front of him for quite a bit. And just what were you talking to him about? Were you concerned maybe with his confidence, or do you wanted him to watch the game a little bit, or what?
Yeah, the first thing, I called a timeout in the second half because I was not pleased early with that group's approach, and he was a part of that. I thought we came out really soft in the second half, so that's why I called that particular timeout. I took him out, and yes, I took him out because I thought he had an ankle. I thought he tweaked his ankle. So that's why I took him out. I might have left him in there. CJ's going to play an important role for us this year, and if he allows missed shots or things like that to affect his confidence, I did spend some time talking to him about that. And we've spent a lot of time with CJ talking about hey, I want you to stay in attack mode. I want you to stay aggressive. I want you to be able to spearhead our defense. And if you let missed shots, missed plays, missed finishes affect your commitment or your effort on the other end, then you are going to be sitting by me. But I thought he had some good responses. He's going to make a lot of those shots that he missed today. I really believe that.
After you put him back in, he had that nice lead pass to Wooster for the
Yes, he did. And he's responded really well. CJ has responded really well, but you know, he's going to have some ups and downs like that. He's playing an expanded, significant role that he's really never played at this level. And, you know, he played really well last weekend, and this is a good opportunity for him to see how you come back and you play maybe a team that's not as good as we played last weekend, and you have a rough one. You just got to be able to keep staying after it, keep attacking. I want him to do that.
Coach, you guys started 0 of 13 from the perimeter, 3 of 24 for the game. Do you feel that guys were forcing things, or were those shots that were going within the flow of the offense and they just weren't going down for you?
A combination of both. We had a few forces for sure, but we also had just some missed kind of guys were wide open and they just missed them. But we had a few forces for sure that did that, but I think it was very much a combination of both. And then once we were able to kind of see a few go down, that was good for us. But hopefully we won't have too many nights where we shoot it like that, both at the line and behind the line.
You mentioned the scrimmage against Xavier. I'm just curious, how did you guys perform this week compared to last week?
You know, it's a good question. I don't know. I think we certainly shot it more efficiently against Xavier, and that clouds things. But again, they were banged up, as I've mentioned. But and I think we played both hard both times. But we'd certainly had a cleaner game against Xavier, and we were a little more. I think we had tougher stretches. We also didn't turn it over. We weren't as sloppy with the ball against them that we were here. We thought at times we were really sloppy with the ball, and I was disappointed with that.
Obviously, this is just an exhibition, and the things get real on Friday. But for you, first time going through a game day here, what was it like for you? And it looked like when the starters were getting introduced, you were kind of maybe looking around a little bit. Did you take anything in before the game started? What was it like to just get things started for you in an unofficial way today? Yeah,
I was trying to figure out where my wife and daughter were sitting for one, so I probably need to. I had actually trouble figuring out where our bench was, so I was a lost puppy there to start the game. Thank God for Dave, because I'd have sat over by the expensive seats. I'd have sat next to a major booster or something and thought that was our bench. But the whole day when you're in a new experience, you're walking. The biggest thing for me, honestly, Adam, is trying to get our guys into a routine. Yeah, coaches have to get into a routine too, but most important thing was our guys just understand what game day was like, because last week we didn't really get that feel because it was just a scrimmage. We drove over there an hour before and played, but it was good to get our guys through a bit of a routine, what scouting looks like, when we come in, when we don't. That's why you do these things. It sounds small, but those things are important to be able to feel a routine. But it was great. It was certainly a lot of fun to come out there and represent this school. I'm sure I'll have moments probably on this weekend where I'll take that in. But the main thing is before tip, I'm really focused on what we're going to run and how we're going to defend.
Did you find your family?
I didn't. So I will. I have not found them, nor have I found them after the game. So my daughter will have no idea the score, and my wife will be exhausted chasing her around. So they may not even be here right now.
Coach, Caleb Wesson, obviously, he put up some big numbers. He was second on the team in rebounds and second on the team in points. What did you see out of him today that you think could possibly lend to more playing time in the future.
Well, he's got to stay out of foul trouble for one. You know, he fouled out of the Xavier game as well. It's a byproduct of being big and physical, and you know, he catches the official's eye. He got to understand that as a big guy. Caleb is a natural scorer. He's got great skill. The biggest challenge for Caleb is going to be, how does he impact the other end? Can he rebound? Can he get traffic rebounds? Can he defend ball screens? How good is he defending the post? All of those things are going to be what, you know, we get enamored with points, and he's really good at that. The challenge for him is going to be, in terms of playing, can he stay out of foul trouble, and how does he defend consistently, you know?
When you have a player like Caleb who is so big and, like you said, draws the attention of officials, how do you sort of correct him from, you know, making so many fouls? How do you sort of tune that up?
We just have to show it to him over and over, and it's going to be something. Trust me, we're not going to come back here in a month and say, oh, he's got this foul trouble thing figured out. It's not going to happen for him. I've never seen that. He's got to continue to get in great shape, and he can get in better shape, and his technique has to continue to grow and improve. It's just, you know, he doesn't want to foul, right? He wants to do the right thing. He's got a really good approach right now, but it's going to be something he's always going to struggle with, and we've talked to him about that, and it's just, he's got to accept the fact that, hey, I got to continue to improve in this particular area. Every big guy his size as a freshman struggles with it. It's not just Caleb. It's every big guy his size.
I know you said lineups will be fluid. Played Andrew Dockish for 24 minutes tonight, and I know that's maybe more than he's ever really been leaned on in his career. I know it's just one game, but are you comfortable if you have to play him that much? And what did you think about what you got from him?
He did some really good things. He's a great communicator out there. Part of the reason I played him that much was I didn't want to put JT back in there and as a backup point, and we don't have another point guard on the roster, right? So he kind of had to carry that last 10 minutes or so. But he did some good things. He's got a really good awareness of things defensively, a really good awareness, and he's got a pretty high attention to detail. And I did not think consistently our attention to detail was as good as it needs to be tonight. It's an area we have to improve on for sure. But he did some good things. He's a great communicator out there. He's a great communicator on the bench. Sometimes I got to tell him, hey, AD, like, we got it, man. But that's his strength. That's who he is. You know.
Cada came out very aggressive, and
yeah.
After that, he seemed very smooth and fluid, let the game come to him. Was the way he played today and the way he played in the scrimmage last weekend, is it what you expected, more than you expected, given that he's coming off the layoff, or what? He's
maybe a little, I still do think he might have a little bit of rust, but he's maybe a little further along in some of those areas than I thought. To be honest with you, Bob, but I tell you, he's had a lot of good moments in practice in these first two games. And he's going to need to, right? I've said this. He and JT and those other guys, some of those other guys, but really he and JT are going to need to be consistently very good for us to, you know, to have a chance to close games out. And he's been pretty consistent with that. Had very few bad days, very few.
Just one more thing. How do you just assess your team's guard play in general today? They always talk about how important guard play is in college basketball.
I think it's something we got to continue to improve in. You know, and we're playing Musa some in the backcourt as well. So I think that Cam gave us some good things, but you know, across the board, we have to finish plays a little bit better at the 1 and the 2 spot. I think you know, we did some good things, but we do need to consistently play better. We didn't play JT probably as much at the point guard tonight that we will moving forward.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, guys.